a bark, a bite, a overhand right. What's up, dog?
What's up? What's up?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Trying to figure out, man, how in the world that people think that Jake Paul lost the fight. Jake Paul beat Tyrone Woodley, and he beat him fair and square. Now, I'm trying to figure out where the ghost at, because we got the ghost on this boy tonight. We got
Well,
Louis.
maybe he ghosting right now, but
There you go.
but let's go back to this Jake Paul fight.
Yeah.
You say that Jake Paul beat Tyrone Woodley.
Yes. Jake
Okay.
Paul beat Tyrone Woodley. Fair and square.
By you mean by split decision, not by the fight.
I feel like he beat him by unanimous decision. Not split. So they was being nice by giving him split decision, because one thing about it, when you fighting somebody who's the favorite, somebody that's giving you opportunity, he's the draw. Showtime just gave him a gang of money to be on pay-per-view. It's on pay-per-view, and it's in Cleveland. Come on, man. You got to knock him out or knock him down, or you can't let the opportunity.
Okay. I agree with everything that you just said. It was in Cleveland.
Come on,
you had to knock him out, or knock him down. I agree with all that.
Yeah.
But
don't but.
But
no buts. No buts.
I'm still looking at the quality of fighters that he's fought. Now, now making money, he could do. He could definitely make money.
Right.
And he can fight guys like me, or in other words, guys that are past their prime in the ring.
Yeah.
But as far as him talking about, have you got a telephone call yet?
Nah.
Okay. I don't think. I mean, he talked a good game, but I don't think that he's made a call to Canelo's camp.
Of course not.
Yeah. Okay. So let's Jake Paul is an entertainer.
Yeah. There we
Logan Paul is an entertainer.
Absolutely.
Let's not get confused and start calling them fighters or boxers. None of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know about boxer part. He a boxer.
Okay. Then who's he boxed?
He boxed.
No. Name me one top 100 fighter that he's boxed. Professional fighter that he boxed.
Woodley, because he didn't knock him out.
No. I said a top 100 fighter. I didn't say one of these has. I didn't say. Name me one fighter or boxer in the top 100 in the WBA, WBC, IBF, any organization you want to go to. Name me one fighter in the top 100 that he's fought.
He ain't got to go that route, because he don't need to. Because he
right, because he's an entertainer, not a fighter.
The guys in his division right now, and he fight cruiserweight, right?
Okay.
What's the new weight class? The funny weight.
Was it Bridger class or Bridge class? Yeah, something like that.
He's bigger than everybody in the Bridger weight. So why would he even go backwards and fight anybody in the top 10 Bridger weight?
Well,
they need him. He makes more money than them. He's more famous than them. So
I like I said, I agree with all that as far as him being an entertainer.
Absolutely.
But as far as him being a fighter, no.
Floyd is an entertainer. Roy Jones is an entertainer.
But every one of them people that you mentioned got a belt in some organization. In some organization, every one of them people you mentioned got a belt.
Yeah.
He's either been the heavyweight champion of the world or whatever his weight class. What class is Jake Paul the champion of?
YouTube.
Oh,
and
okay.
YouTube fighters.
Like I said,
An
like
era.
I said,
Different day and era.
like I
So,
said, he's an entertainer.
and that's what it's about. He's an entertainer, and he putting butts in the seat. See, when he putting them people in the seats, them butts in the seats, that's what it's all about now. These guys that's entertainers, right? They fighters. The guys in the top 10 are entertainers because they in the top 10, they entertaining somebody to get to the top 10. So guess what? Jake Paul is an entertainer, but an entertainer. Floyd Mayweather was an entertainer. Jake
And
Paul,
and how many titles did Floyd have?
I don't know how many, but if you ain't got to get a
Huh.
title, listen, if I don't have to get a title to be a millionaire, to make millions of dollars, forget a title. You know, titles ain't what it used to be. You ain't got to have a title right now. Matter of fact, they
No,
got
but it's a title that makes you that gives you that legitimacy as a fighter.
as a fighter. Yeah.
Right. That's what gives you that legitimacy.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I mean, as far as the money, oh yeah, he's definitely, he's making money. He went to his hometown, he made even more money, and as as rumored. Now I'm not saying, I don't see where this came from because I don't think it was that hard of a fight. So it might just be a money thing, or him trying to make more money. But now they're talking about he's talking about retiring. Well, why?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why should he retire? He has no reason to retire.
Jake Paul, listen, he don't have to win a belt. Jake Paul ain't gonna win a belt, and he ain't got to fight.
No.
Because guess what? He's in a position to do what he want to do. Jake Paul is a boxer, hashtag entertainer / YouTuber / whatever he want to be, because he got a following. He got a whole bunch of people following him, and that's all you got to have nowadays. JK, if you got 1 million some followers, you can go box. And you know what? If you go pro, you a boxer. No matter who you fight,
if I go pro, if I go pro, and I'm and I mean, see, this is the same gripe that I've had when I think it was his second pro fight, and you had 2 championship fights underneath him.
Yeah,
for championship fights, you got guys that have been in the ring for 15, 20 years, maybe since they was 12, 13 years old. Okay. And they have made, he's made more money in probably his last fight than they made in their whole career.
It's not about how good you can fight anymore. Sugar Ray Robinson is not here. May he rest in peace. Muhammad Ali is not here. May he rest in peace. And Mike Tyson is on YouTube smoking weed. So Jake Paul, hey, he is in the right sport at the right time. So he can bypass fighting the top 5, top 10. He can bypass having an amateur career. He went straight pro, straight to the top of the food chain and made money. Listen, the guy got what it takes to be a boxer. That's why Showtime signed him. How many guys in the top 10, top 15 in his weight class are signed to Showtime?
They signed him because they signed him because he's an entertainer.
They did what? They signed him?
because he's an entertainer.
Okay, that entertainer, that's the entertainment. That's why you got to entertain the people. Every fighter that won world titles and became a superstar was an entertainer. Sugar Ray Robinson was the entertainer. Sugar Ray Leonard at Showboat, an entertainer. Ray Jones jumped this way, run that way, entertainer. The Prince Nassim, entertainer. Jake Paul is an entertainer. You admit it?
I did say I never had any problem with saying he was an entertainer. I had a problem saying he was a boxer. That's what I had a problem with.
He signed. He got a license. He signed to go pro. He a professional boxer. Not saying that he's a world champion or he's a Mike Tyson. He's a pro boxer, and he's getting better. Now, I ain't gonna lie. He stunk the place up the last fight he just had with Tyrone Woodley. Both of them stunk the place up. And it is what it is. But at the end of the day,
okay. At the end of the day,
yeah.
Now, okay, I want your true feelings
Okay.
as a fighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay. He wants to fight Canelo Alvarez.
I mean, come on, is he capping or what though? You already know that's all cap.
but
Yeah.
he,
Come on,
but he's a professional fighter.
boxer. Yeah.
And so,
I said
so
boxer, not professional fighter.
boxer.
I said professional
Okay.
boxer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more ridiculous.
Yeah.
Him fighting Canelo.
Right.
And you know, 4-0
Yeah.
fighting.
Hey, and you gotta get listen. Listen to what Tough Man just said. Jake Paul donated $1 million of his purse
Hey,
to the card to other fighters.
I didn't look. I never said that Jake
Mayweather,
Paul.
Mayweather never did that. You know.
Is that the ghost?
Nope, that's Lou Dibella. See, and you said the ghost is on here. We got Lou Dibella in the building, so
Well, let's grab Lou.
yeah, Lou.
Hey,
You know.
I
Lou,
keep.
I hope everything go right this time, boy. Let's go, chat. Hey, what's up, Lou?
Hey, gentlemen, who are you waiting for?
Man, we waiting on you, man. we waiting on you,
So
champ.
did you guys watch the Jake Paul show last night?
Yes, we did.
we were just talking about
2 days ago. 2 days ago. Yeah. Did you like it though?
You know, I was there. I was there because I had Amanda fighting. I mean, who I think is personally, I think she's the best female fighter on the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a great fighter. And the Baranchek fight, Montana Love. Look, I think Baranchek gave everything in the ring in that fight of the year with Cepeda. And you know this, K9. Sometimes that kind of war, 5 knockdowns, it takes everything out of you, you know? And I mean, credit to Montana Love. He fought a beautiful fight. And he deserved the win. It's going to mean big things for him. But honestly, I think it's probably time for Ivan to walk away. I thought that fight took everything out of him, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, you know the game. Like I know the game. So hey, so it is what it is. You know, his best days might be gone. Hey.
Yeah, and you know what? It's not worth staying around if you lost your punch tolerance, and you're not able to compete at the top level anymore. You got to do what you got to do to be safe. And you know, Ivan. Honestly, I think it's time for Ivan to walk away. He won a world title. He had a nice career. My personal point of view is it'd be dangerous for him to continue. But you know, every man lives his own life. You know.
Yes.
Lou, I'm glad
my
you
thoughts
said
on the main. You asked. I'm sorry, James. Yes, my thoughts on the show. Look, the main event was competitive. Was it professional championship level boxers? No, but it was competitive, and I think that the sold out audience had a good time, and I think the people on pay-per-view knew what they were buying, and I think most of them probably enjoyed the show. So I ain't gonna hate on it. And you know what? Right now, I sort of think Jake Paul's sort of good for boxing. He seems to respect. I think he seems to respect the game. He respects the sport. He works real hard. You know, whatever you think, he's getting better. I got no hate for him at all, man. I got nothing but love for him.
Boy, it's like you talking
but at no time did Lou say he was a boxer. He said he was good for boxing. He said he was an entertainer, but at no time.
Hey Lou.
No, you know what, James? I'm going to disagree. I'm going to tell you something. I went on BoxRec and I looked at his rating, and I saw where they rated him, which is like they rated him against other professionals in the country and the world. They didn't have him above the middle because he's never fought anybody. But I'll tell you this. There are professional prize fighters. He is a boxer. There are professional prize fighters. He is a boxer. There are professional prize fighters who are 4-0 who have fought far worse bums than Jake Paul. And you know what? Tyrone Woodley's a hell of an athlete. And for a guy that was never really a full-time boxer before, I thought he gave a good account of himself. You know, I don't think he won, but I thought it was like a 5-3 fight. And I thought that Tyrone Woodley, for a guy that just look, he does stand-up fighting, boxing as part of MMA.
Right.
He's never really trained as a boxer.
No.
But by the way, I guarantee you, I could find 50 professional boxers for Tyrone Woodley to beat. Forget about Jake Paul. So is he a boxer? Yeah, he ain't ready for Canelo. And K9 could come off the chair right there without training and beat those two guys. But K9's a championship level guy. And you know what? Maybe in 10 fights, if the guy's serious, he can beat a decent guy. He's not getting worse. He takes it seriously. He's got unlimited resources to train and practice. He's got good guys in his corner. He can get whatever sparring he wants.
There you go.
You know what, man? It's not fair to say the guy's not a boxer, and it's not fair to make that.
Well,
JK, come on now.
Well, hey, I still say that he's an entertainer, and I wouldn't put him. Now Lou did make a good point because 4-0. Yeah, 4. But hey, I will tell you and K9, both, being unprofessional and being from northeastern Ohio, anything that's north of Youngstown, Cleveland, Ohio, and south of Youngstown, Cincinnati, hey, I represent northeastern Ohio Central. I rep Boom Boom Mancini, Harry Arroyo, and every champ that's come out of Youngstown, Ohio. Anything north or south of that, hey, I got my built-in prejudice, and I will admit.
There you go. So there you go. A lot of hate.
But, JK, I got to take umbrage with that, man, because there was a young man who got a highlight on that show. You didn't see his fight live, but Charles Conwell literally is as good as any 154-pounder in the world. And if Al Heyman wants to call up and make a fight with one of his guys, we're not going to say no.
Yeah,
Al's got almost all of the 154-pound division.
Yeah.
But
you promote Conwell then.
Is as good a prospect, as good a fighter as anybody right now on the planet at 154. He's 23 years old. That kid's going to be a world champion. One thing back to Jake Paul. It's called prize fighting for a reason. And if you're 4-0 and you could generate the lettuce that man can do, he's a prize fighter.
Hey,
he's a prize fighter.
And the one thing, and the one thing that you both brought up, and it's always not just the fact that he puts butts in seats, but he does improve every time. He does put the time into his craft, and he gives back to the sport.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you mentioned, Floyd's never given $1 million to the undercard.
Look, every fighter on that card, their payday, and a lot of fighters on that card are not with one of the big platforms and didn't have other places to get those kind of chances. And they put a woman as the feature, and she got a 6-figure payday. So. You know what, man? Like, the guy respects the sport. He seems to respect the sport more than a lot of great fighters who refuse to get in the ring with other great fighters. He seems to respect the sport more than a lot of great fighters that don't give a shit if they get in the ring or not, who are happy to fight once a year. So,
that's something
you know what, man? Until we get our shit together, people should leave Jake Paul alone.
Man, leave him alone.
Lou, you stepped on a whole lot of toes there, man. Jesus, boy.
Listen, Lou.
Preach, Lou.
I'm training a gang of people because of Jake Paul. He done brought so many people to the sport of boxing. I mean, a lot of the younger generation he done brought to the sport of boxing. A lot of these young guys that never would have gotten in the ring or stepped in a boxing gym, a fitness gym, and want to do boxing wouldn't have did it if it wasn't for Jake Paul.
And hey, look, as much as I talk about Cleveland, he's doing very positive things also within the city. So that's another positive as far as I'm concerned.
And where the money gonna be at? If Woodley would have won the fight and he would have fought Floyd, it would have been bigger if Woodley fight Floyd. Would it be bigger if Jake Paul fight Floyd? I think that if Jake Paul and Floyd fought, I think that would be the highest. They got a good chance to be the highest pay-per-view fight of all time, and it'd be an exhibition. It's because
I'll give
he
you
took
another one. I'll give you another one, and I'll give you another one. Yeah, but you know what? I don't want to see Jake Paul fight Floyd because you and I know that we know who's going to win, and Floyd could do whatever the fuck he wants that night in the ring.
Yeah,
and Floyd ain't losing to him, but if he goes distance, it's because Floyd wants it to. Not he already beat Jake's bigger brother. Maybe down the line, if Floyd is older and Jake has done more, I'm gonna hate on me. I'll tell you, imagine how big Jake Paul, I'm sorry. Imagine how big Jake Paul and Conor McGregor would be.
Ooh, yeah,
that would be
that'd be big.
You know, Conor went to, you know what I'm saying? Conor already was in there with Floyd Mayweather. Conor's one of the biggest stars in the world.
Yeah.
He's already had a professional fight. And I'll give you another one.
Yeah.
Imagine down the line the two brothers fight.
Yeah.
Jake Paul fights Logan Paul. That would also be huge. Right now, Jake's a work in progress. He shouldn't be fighting one of the best boxers in the world, nor do I think he will. I think he's too smart for that, and I think the people around him are too smart for that.
Yes. They know better. I start calling him out.
I see him fighting, maybe there's another one. Who wins this fight? You guys watched the fights, right, last night? Who wins between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury? That's a good fight. Tyson Fury's brother, who's a professional fighter.
I thought,
I could see that fight happening.
Exactly.
But Lou, from a promoter's point of view,
what do you think?
I think Paul would win.
Yeah, I think it's a toss-up. But I thought actually that Fury was actually better than what he was until I saw him fight. So
I agree. I agree with you, Kenan.
Okay.
I think that fight would be a toss-up. I agree with that. That's why I actually think it's a good fight to make in the future. And you know what? Maybe Jake needs another MMA guy before he does a guy that's experienced and had more experience as a boxer. Yeah. But even if he fight Tommy Fury next, I think it'd be a fair fight against either Paul brother.
Yeah. I think him and Nate Diaz would be a good fight.
Lou, I'm really intrigued by that first fight that you mentioned because I think that would actually generate the most money as well as the most fan audience, which would be the Conor McGregor, which had, he's already got the big whiskey label, and as K9 says, a whole country behind him. Exactly. Versus Jake Paul. I think they're pretty evenly matched as far as boxing.
Yeah, but if Dana White can't get what he wants, it ain't gonna happen.
I agree with that, Jim. I agree with that.
Yeah. So I think
that's also true. If Dana can't make what he wants, that ain't gonna happen either. But I'll tell you, Dana's a good businessman. Say what you will, and if there's enough money in it, and by the way, Dana may think that may think Conor's more likely to win, and who knows. But if that fight happened, it would be enormous, and not only because you said they have a country behind them. What's funny? It's not funny. Both those guys are more well than most champions.
Yeah,
both
absolutely.
So North fight. If it makes dollars, it makes sense. There you go.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
Because Conor McGregor has a personality, and so does Jake.
Lou, I want to ask you.
Could you imagine?
Go ahead.
Could you imagine the shit they would talk in that fight? Just thinking of myself. Go ahead, ask your question.
Yeah,
that would be a great press conference for real.
It would.
You'd probably need Mike Tyson, Mr. T, and a few others down there. Shannon Briggs, you could bring him back. Throw a little salt here and there. We could make this really entertaining. I could really think about that. But Lou, talking about Manny here for 1 minute. I've heard that there's
Yeah.
a possible a rematch in January. Have you heard anything about that?
I read something about that, but it would surprise me a little bit because, you know what? Manny's thinking of running for president in the Philippines. So if he runs for president, I don't think there'll be a rematch in January. But there might still be a rematch later if he doesn't win. There is a January. Look, Manny didn't prepare that opponent, and he didn't win. Ugas won, but it wasn't like Manny got killed. It was a fight. So if they wanted to rematch that fight, Manny deserves a rematch. He's one of the greatest of all time. And honestly, when you're training for the way Manny fought the other night, he wasn't going to beat Errol Spence. We know that. Like that Manny was not going to beat Errol Spence. But Ugas is a different kind of fighter than Errol, so he wasn't training for the same kind of fight. And he had, and it was just a different fighter he was in the ring with. And Ugas has got a difficult style. Look, based upon what I saw, Manny any younger, if the rematch, I'm still going to pick Ugas, but I think it would still be a good fight. And if Manny wants it, Manny deserves it.
Yeah, if he wants it, I think he definitely deserves it. But I also think he'll be president. He's going to be president. If Manny runs, he's going to be president of the Philippines. I don't think there's any doubt of that. So are you going?
You never know, man. Politics. I make no predictions in wrestling or politics.
Okay.
Who knows?
I hear you.
He wins.
I hear you though. What about this Canelo Victor Belfort thing? Not Canelo. De La Hoya, Oscar, and Victor Belfort.
Oh, you mean Oscar Victor Belfort?
Yeah.
Oscar ain't one. I ain't a big fan of Oscar, so it ain't my thing so much. But you know what? People want it to be entertained, and people think that that's entertainment, and they like the idea of it. God bless them. Everyone could spend their money. I'm not gonna talk smack on stuff. The marketplace controls. If someone wants to pay for it, God bless them. And I have to admit, I'm a little bit interested in the match on the undercard between Anderson Silva and Tito Ortiz, who were two big MMA, heavyweight guys. I think they're probably pretty evenly matched. I think that I'm so interested in that fight. Look, I'll tell you, I'm not a huge Oscar fan anymore. Particularly not Oscar the promoter or the 57-year-old. But each though, and I'm not gonna talk because knowing me, if I have nothing better to do, I'll probably order it.
All right. Well, listen. Let's talk about your girl there, Lou Amanda.
Shoot, she broke the bank. Did she set a record?
She's the best female fighter in my view, and look, it's she has the highest knockout ratio of any woman. She's going within a few fights of more knockouts. She'll be the all-time knockout leader among women. She's a couple behind. She's a great fighter, and I'm glad that she got the opportunity. She did the other night, and when you watch women's boxing at the highest level these days, you're actually seeing, forget about gender, you're seeing really good boxing. So I am actually excited for that. I got a question for you guys too.
Okay.
Do either one of you give Caleb Plant a chance with Canelo?
I don't, and I'll give you my reasons why. Because I don't think that Caleb Plant has enough power to back Canelo off of him, especially in the later rounds. Great boxer, but he doesn't have the strength or the power to keep Canelo away from him.
Well, I think that he doesn't have the experience, but the will to win. I give him a better chance that anybody that Canelo's ever fought, because he's a great boxer. I just don't know if he have the power to keep Canelo off of him. But Canelo is really, he's a blowed up.
I agree.
Go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say he's a blowed up junior middleweight. The guy's only 5
I
foot
agree. I agree with both of what you said, basically.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, man, but he's so strong. He's so strong for his size.
Yes.
I agree with, I agree with both of you. I think that he's a very slick boxer. He has a difficult style to fight, which will make him more difficult than some of the other guys Canelo has beaten. So I don't think it's an easy fight. Caleb Plant is too good for it to be an easy fight. But I don't think he's big and strong enough to win. I don't think he has the power to really get Canelo's respect when they mix it up. And I expect Canelo to take control later in the fight.
Yeah. I think Canelo, to be honest with you, is one of the most feared fighters box right now. I mean, when what's that? Daniel Jacobs got in the ring with him. I couldn't believe the respect that he gave a guy who moved up in weight. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, what he did. Even though we know Kovalev was past his prime, the way he knocked out Kovalev, or older Kovalev, was still a light heavyweight former world champ. And I say, man, Canelo, he gets in the ring and guys be like nervous, like he Mike Tyson. It's funny, but it's the truth. And he is good. I'm not saying he ain't good, but when I'm a natural super middleweight and I fought at super middleweight all my life, a guy can be Canelo, he can be whoever he is. And you move up in my weight class, like, come on, man. Manny Pacquiao moved up from all the way to 106, and he had guys running for him. he was 106. So I just think that the bigger guys, especially like a Caleb Plant, they need to get that respect. But I couldn't believe it. And I like Daniel Jacobs, but I couldn't believe the respect that he gave him. And, he was out there trying to knock out Kid Chocolate. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to knock out everybody he got in the ring with. But when he came to Canelo, he was like, whoa, hold on. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing is, I'll say this. I really think Canelo was super young when he turned pro.
Yeah.
Very, very young kid when he turned pro. So to say that he was really like a 54 or 47, I actually think that 68, 188 is really Canelo's weight. That's really where he is. I think if he goes up in weight from 68, he's fighting bigger guys. I think if he goes down in weight from 68, he's fighting smaller guys. I think 68 is Canelo's weight class. And I call it like I see it right now. Canelo Alvarez fighter. Nobody's better right now.
Yeah. I agree. I think, that him being who he is and being able to pick who he wanted to pick, like if it was someone like myself who didn't have the fan base or didn't have the country behind me, I think that he would probably fight at 154. 160 at the most, but not no 168 and past that. Because he would have had to, with him being who he is, he can do what he want to do. He can fight who he want to fight. He can eat what he want to eat. He can do what he want to do. But me not having that same fan base, that same country behind me, I had to stay at a certain weight class because I can't pick and choose who I want to fight at 168 at once. Because I walk around weighing 180 something, but I had to fight at 154. If that makes sense. Right.
Yeah, I hear you, but I got to tell you something. I would make Canelo a favorite against every single 168-pound champion right now. There's nobody I wouldn't think Canelo can beat. And honestly, I'm not sure that there's anybody from 175 down. I think that could beat Canelo. So right now, to me, Canelo is clearly pound for pound.
What about Arthur? I mean, unless Arthur's too.
Go ahead,
what about Arthur? Do you think that he would beat Arthur? Or is he at 178? He might be a little too heavy. Yeah.
Nah, you know what? I don't think he's. Look, he's strong, but Canelo's not going to sit there in this pocket and let himself be hit. I don't think that Beterbiev can move enough or box enough to beat Canelo. But you know what? I think you're right, James. That's interesting remaining. Like if he's going to fight, if he were to go back up to 75 pounds, 175 pounds, the most difficult fight with Arthur. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that man hit too hard. And that man, you gotta remember when you fight 175, you can walk around easily weighing 200. At 154, I walk around easily weighing 180. So I just think that man is going. He don't have the skills that Canelo has. But when you a middleweight or super middleweight and you fighting a heavyweight, they got weight classes for a reason. You just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. But ask me this right here. I mean, tell me who you think had a better career, or who's having a better career, or who's a better fighter in a prime between Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo. Did y'all hear me?
I heard you. Lou might be catching up, but I think he.
You know, I mean,
yeah. Okay.
I said I think it's very similar. Oscar's career and Canelo's.
Yeah.
You know, Oscar in his prime was one of the best fighters ever. He was a great fighter. Canelo right now in his prime is a great fighter. I think if Canelo keeps winning and keeps jumping around and fighting the best fighters at different weight classes before he's done, he may have had a better career than Oscar. But right now,
yeah, I think you know what I think what's gonna hurt Canelo, as far as like being looked at as a better fighter or had a better career than Oscar, is he don't have the same competition. You got to remember, Oscar De La Hoya fought Shane Mosley in his prime, Felix Trinidad. Come on, man. What name can you put on a resume of Canelo that he's fought that has that has a championship or was a fighter like Trinidad, Shane Mosley? I mean, who else? I mean, the list goes on. Oscar fought some dogs. Was it Vernon Forrest? What's the other guy? I'm trying to think of the other.
So did Canelo. Triple G is a, you know.
But Triple G
too. Kovalev was old, but he still was huge. A big light heavyweight with power. He's going to fight Caleb Plant. I mean, and he's still in the middle of his career, so he still has time to fight more of the best guys. So I think when the whole story is told, K9, when Canelo's whole story is told, his resume will look just as good as Oscar's.
Oh yeah, see, but the thing now, his resume might look better than Oscar's, you know. But I just think that the fighters, man, we might in these days we have some great fighters. I mean, potential wise, I don't know. It's the food. It's different food now. It's different equipment that they can train with. It's a lot of high technology. But it's just that those days, I'm talking about. We talking about some real. Now they picking and choosing a lot more now. They not fighting the best. They ain't fighting the best no more. And I think Canelo would have fought any and everybody. But I think Oscar kept him away from certain people. The only reason why he fought. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think Canelo will fight anybody and everybody. But I think, K9, what you're saying, the mentality of the fighters is different now. The mentality. They don't have the same desire. Their attitude is to pay a lot of money. Paid a lot of money to fight an easy fight. Why am I going to fight a dog? Why am I going to fight a tougher fight? That's the fighter's mentality. A lot of them fight, not all of them. Sean will fight anybody, tell him to fight. I think that there are a lot of other fighters that'll fight anyone.
Yes.
I mean, Errol Spence came off rolling a Ferrari to fight one of the best fighters out there. I mean, and then because of these different networks, some of the best fights don't happen. It's a shame that we're not seeing Errol Spence and Crawford. It's a shame.
Man, come on, somebody. You know? That's right. We'll never see Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis. That's the best weight class and to a certain extent, it's the worst weight class because they're never gonna fight each other. Shakur Stevenson is not gonna fight Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is not gonna fight Gervonta Davis. Ryan Garcia is not gonna fight Devin Haney. It's just sad. I mean, but at junior middleweight, my favorite weight class.
I hope you're wrong.
Everybody.
I hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too.
I think some of those fights.
Yeah.
Some of those fights will happen.
I hope so.
Shakur just signed to fight, right?
Yeah, but he fights somebody that he probably gonna beat. Or
what do you think? What do you think of Shakur Stevenson against Jamel Herring?
And he been caught. He wants Jamel Herring bad because it's something that he know that we must don't know. I think they sparred before. I think like Jamel Herring was trying to be his friend because they cool. At the same time, Shakur Stevenson wasn't having it like, no, bro, I knew I could get you, and it's business. So I think that Shakur Stevenson is too much. He one of the best fighters at 135 and 130. I think he one of the best fighters in the world. That guy got some serious talent. Some serious talent. He reminds me of Terrence Crawford, but he stays southpaw. He's just a split out southpaw, and he's a real great talent. I think he's the best at 135, 130. I think he better than all of them, man. He'll give all of them some problems. All of them. That guy is getting better and better. He just, I don't know.
I agree that he's a great fighter. I agree that he's a great fighter, but never underestimate the fighting Marine. Jamel Herring, nobody gives more in the ring than what they have than Jamel.
Okay.
So I think I like that fight. I think it's an interesting fight. And all is, don't count Jamel Herring out. I think it's a good fight.
I'm
So I saw on social media that you tagged one of my fighters.
Okay. Who's your fighter? I tagged one of your fighters?
I saw that you tagged Ty Tomlin. Is Ty Tomlin going to be on the show?
Yes. We've had Lou. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Anybody whose name is Tomlin, hey man, he's welcome here.
Yeah, he's gonna be on the show. That's your fighter.
Yeah,
that's Lou's fighter.
Okay. Oh, I know that.
Well, he's a great kid. He's a great kid. He's a great kid. He's a good young prospect, and he's super popular in Tennessee. In Cheetah and in Nashville, he's already a big star. So you should talk to that kid. He's a nice kid.
That's good.
Yeah, he's coming on after you, Lou.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, gentlemen, I'm getting a side look. My significant other is tired of me being on the phone. So let me ask you
one more question before you go.
Hope you soon.
Let me ask you before you go. I want to ask you before you go. How do you feel, and what is your take on them allowing professional fighters to fight against amateurs in the Olympics?
You know what? If they're going to let professional basketball players do it, professional soccer players do it, professional tennis players do it, it's a little bit different in a combat. Let's be honest. Amateur boxing, Olympic boxing is different than pro boxing. It's more of a touch and slap and score kind of game. So I'm not really against it. I mean, in a perfect world, I think the entire Olympics should only be amateurs. But if they're going to do it in every other sport, then why not?
Yeah, I agree. Only
all right, Lou. Thanks a lot, man.
It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Yes, appreciate you, my guy.
All right.
Take care, gentlemen. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye. Yeah.
See, that's one thing about Lucy. You book him on the show, you're gonna get more minutes than what you have. Right. So that's one of the reasons why I told Ty to come on. About 10, 20 minutes late because I know and you and Lou have a great rapport, so I knew he'd like to talk to you and so forth and so on. But what do you think about Oscar Valdez testing positive?
Ooh, I didn't know about that. No, he what? Marijuana?
No, a drug, but I'm not phenmetamine or something like that. I'm trying to think of what it was, and he's supposed to fight September 10th. So
let's ask the Ghost how he feel about that, because the Ghost is in the queue.
Okay, we'll bring the Ghost on. There you go.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, sorry I'm late, man. I was watching my son spar.
Hey,
your boy AK was capping. He was like, man, the Ghost, man, he on here live, man, and they just published was like, where y'all at? I'm like, man, I don't see him in the queue.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I was watching my boy spar, man. So I was like, I got all into it and I lost track of time. Sorry about that, though.
Don't worry about it. You're here now, man. And I can get Mario off my case. Tell him, hey, the Ghost is here. So hey, man, all is good, man.
You just like the Detroit police. You're late, bro, but it's all good. Don't you come? Oh, man. Congratulations, man, on beating Victor Ortiz too, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Listen, us Christians, we stick together. I was rooting for you.
I probably took about 30 headbutts, but man, I took a lot of them.
Yeah, that's true. Both of you guys are southpaw, so I mean, it was hard, I guess, to be in there with another southpaw, and both of y'all careers are on the line. I mean, if you'd have lost that fight, they'd have counted you out. Him losing.
Yeah, that was one of those important fights where it was a must win.
Yes, it was a must win. That's right. It kind of reminded me of the contender. The winner goes on, the loser goes home.
Yep.
Yeah. So what's next for you? Do you know anything yet? Or are you just chilling? I mean,
right now I'm just taking about a week and a half off, and then I'm gonna get back on it, see where the management, which way we're gonna go. But this fight threw us right into the mix, so I'm excited about that. That's why it was a must win. It was either, like you said, move on, or it's time to hang him.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Ghost, hold on, because I'm gonna let y'all talk boxing. Yeah, I want to talk something else. How's your son, man? And where are you at? I mean,
well, I'm in Gilroy right now in the gym. My son's 14 years old. He's fighting amateur, so he was sparring today. And man, I haven't seen him spar in a while, so I was all, man, I got to check it out because of being in camp and stuff. So
yeah,
he did really good. I was impressed.
So is he a chip off the old block? K9's son is an amateur too. I mean, he's a little bit older, but he got a little bit more. But I'm looking at the two of you proud fathers. Like watching your sons as they progress their careers in the ring. However may it be. So I want a little bit to know about Ghost the father, man.
Yeah, he's doing really good. He don't listen to me at all, but good thing my pops is there, so he listens to my pops.
Okay.
Yeah. And I tell him, I go, son, I won world championships. You gotta listen to what I'm telling you. He goes, yeah, but Grandpa's the one that showed you how to win those world championships. I go, all right, I give you that.
Yeah. See, I remember that conversation earlier when I think he was about 12 maybe, and you were saying you had to turn him over to your dad. Because you didn't have that kind of patience. So
exactly. I didn't have the patience, and like my father said, he's like, man, you want him to do everything to your expectation, but he's still learning. You got to let him learn. He's like, man, you didn't get to that position in one night. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So once my pops took over, he's been doing good. He listens to everything my dad says. I could tell him the same thing. Don't listen to what I say, but my dad will tell him the same thing, and he does exactly what he says.
That's Grandpa, man. It's called respect, man.
So regardless, he's in good hands.
All right. And how's the rest of the family doing, man?
Everybody's doing great. Yep. I'm excited to be home, especially with the win. I didn't get too banged up. The side of my head was a little sore from the headbutts, but other than that, healthy, ready to get rock and start training for the next one.
Yeah, I saw you had an article on there. Yeah, you ready to do that welterweight thing, man? Or one more fight or the next one?
Yep. yeah, so I'm excited just to be in the position I'm in right now, man. I just thank God for everything, So that's one of the things that got me there, and to be in this position is putting God first, and I mean that's the way it is. And like I said before the fight, I just want to thank him for who he is, because I mean I wouldn't be here.
Go ahead, K9.
No.
Like I said, I just want to get Ghost the Father in there, so you can go with the boxer.
Man, listen. You see my twins back there. I know. Do you got any twins too, or do you got triplets?
I got triplets.
Yeah, triplets, boy. And what colors are they? Are they red, black,
yep,
and what, green?
Yeah. Well, I got 3 reds, a green, and a black.
Whoa.
So you got triplets, quadruplets?
I got triplets of the IBF.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, you got 5.
26, 30, and 35.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Yeah, that's good.
Yep, those belts look beautiful back there, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Appreciate it, boy. Listen, man. We work hard.
Hey, my goal is to get another one around that waist, man.
Ooh. Hey, listen.
So
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
What do your hat say? Because don't seem like you trying to promote nobody. They must not be paying you for that. I don't see what your hat say. Way up.
Oh, wait. There it is, right there. It's Pops.
What it say? No,
that's
your
Pops
hat
right there in the back.
What's your hat say?
No, you see what your hat.
Shout out to who? I can't really see it. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, it's something.com?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got shout out to your sponsors, bro.
I'm starting to lose hair a little bit, so I gotta wear the hat.
No, hey, listen,
K9 never had that problem, so you got to.
Oh man,
I don't think I've ever. K9, have you ever entered the ring with an afro?
No. When I let my hair grow too long, now I start having headaches. I stopped doing that. Yeah, enough of them in the ring. I don't need more headaches. Hey Rob, are you signed with Al Heyman? Who are you?
Yeah, I'm with Heyman. So yeah. Yep. So
is it? No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's nice, especially being on Fox, especially opening up the first. I was the one that opened up the first PBC. What's called the PBC card. So it was nice. That was the fight with me and Thurman.
Yeah, I saw it. No, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. Is it in the contract? Because Al Heyman, wanted me to sign with him, but I never did sign with him, so I don't know how the contracts are wrote. But it's in the contract that you got to thank Al Heyman, because it seems like a lot of fighters be like, first of all, thank God. Sometimes I've been looking, they be like, first of all, I like to thank
like, you know what it is everybody that's with Al Heyman, they start getting paid very well, so that's why everybody's so appreciative of thanks Al Heyman. I think I forget what rapper it was. They even talked about signing Al Heyman checks, cashing Al Heyman checks.
There you go.
Yeah, well, because that was his original business. He got a few singers that probably still signing checks from Al too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just well, I mean, the one thing is a lot of us fighters are grateful for Al Heyman, because he takes care of us very well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to be under somebody like Al Heyman, because especially when you've been through a lot of other promoters that just put you through the ringer, and us fighters, we take those shots, man. We deserve to get paid, and that's what Al does. He takes very, very care of us. So
yeah,
that's why you get a lot of fighters. Thank Al Heyman.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, well, right now I don't think what's my man name? AB Adrian Brown. He ain't thinking him. He's pretty mad at him.
he's blowing through those Al Heyman checks like water.
Exactly. There you go.
He got to stop sending. He got to stop giving them to the court and putting them in the bank.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That might help a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I definitely appreciate you. I don't want to hold you up, man. I know you got a lot going on, and I just thank you for coming on the show for sure. A 5-time world champ. What did you say? 3-time world champ?
4 divisions.
Woo, 6-time world champ. Boy. Let me ask you another question. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let JK finish the conversation. Corey Spinks is a former 5-time world champion. Do you think that he will, being retired, you think he should go into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, you won that many championships. You know, I think you know, becoming a world champion is, I mean, there's only a handful of fighters that do it.
Yeah.
And you know, become world champion, I think it's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you know, especially you won 2 or 3 of them. Shoot.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. You know, some guys are incredible fighters and they don't even win one.
Exactly.
You know, so man, you know, I think being a world champion is well deserved.
Yeah.
You know, so that's you know, God willing, I get in the Hall of Fame myself.
Absolutely. You know, another thing I want to say is, you know, normally, like, when you got someone that open the doors for you and you actually kick the door down after the door was open for you, kick another door down, you got to remember his daddy, Leon Spinks, beat the great Muhammad Ali. And Michael Spinks, you know, he beat Larry Holmes. I mean, so that should give him a lot of recognition. I mean, you know.
Yep.
You know, they say it's
yeah. Yep. Everything was paved right there already, you know. Exactly. That's the message that I'm telling my son is, hey, I paved that way. Yeah. You know, I went through the grind and through the hills and tore down all the brush and trees and everything. You know, you got smooth sailing. You just got to work hard. Work hard, listen, and be dedicated, and it should be there for you.
Absolutely.
You say, Ghost, you done did everything, put the seeds in the ground. All you got to do is harvest the crop.
Yes.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, gotta water and harvest it.
But you know, Ghost, 6 times. You got 6 belts. What made you want to come back? What made you want to come back?
Easy work.
I want to, man. I want to win one more. You know, give it that last run after that Omar Figueroa fight I had. I felt I cut myself short, man, and it's like, man, I got to get it back. I got to come out, make it happen, because I look back, you know, I sit there and pray a lot, you know, talk to God, and man, you know, I really cut myself short on a lot of my blessings, and I didn't take advantage of it. So that's one of the things that I got to do is coming back. It's taking advantage of those blessings that God's blessed me with. You know, I had a house in Vegas, full training camp. I wasn't even using it, you know, and I was getting ready for championship fights. So, you know, I cut myself short of the blessings that God's blessed me with. So, you know, I've been doing everything I got to do to be in top shape and, you know, to win fights. So, you know, got to make sure I take advantage of the blessings God throws my way.
Yes, and were you also kind of motivated by the fact that this is a different breed of fighter? They aren't, you know, like, I'm not saying that they would be softer, but do you think that, you know, they would be more competitive at your age?
Yeah, you know, I mean, a lot of these fighters are cashing out Hamer checks, so you know, you got that money in the bank. You know, it kind of gets you a little bit relaxed, and you know, I've been around for a bit, and you know, the money's there. It's just grind for me, man. It's about legacy and putting God first.
Now, do you still have the house in Vegas, or where are you training now?
Yeah, I got the house in Vegas, full blown training camp, and I've been taking advantage of it, using it. And even throughout the whole pandemic, it was nice because to be able to have that, you know, I had guys like Caleb Plant using it, being out there training myself and taking advantage of it, because a lot of people that have to go to gyms, the gyms are closed and they're not able to get in there, and I'm able to take advantage of it, man. It truly was a blessing.
Yeah, you and Bones, I think, stayed open both during the pandemic, right?
Yeah. Bones was always open. You know, to his certain fighters, and he got his home gym also too.
Yeah, I visited his the last time I was in Vegas. Are you guys in close proximity?
We got short fuse in the queue. We're gonna have add them to the live too.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
okay.
I'm sure he'll be glad to see a 6-time world champ.
There you go.
What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, that's the ghost right there. You know who the ghost is? Short Fuse.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
I think last time we had this trouble with him too, man. Short Fuse, bro. Come on, somebody.
We're gonna have to put him on the little guy on the middle that gives the sign language.
Yeah, he got the background, everything together. Like we get on there, he be Hollywood. And you can't hear what he's saying. It's like the Chinese movies, they be somebody else talking.
like those old school Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee movies.
There you go. There you go. Hey, Ghost. You as you mentioned, you opened up on that card with Manny Pacquiao. What did you think about that fight? And what do you think about, we know that it's possible that Manny's going to be running for president of the Philippines. So what's your thoughts on that? He's a little older than you. So, what did you take away from that?
I thought Manny fought an incredible fight. The size difference, I think, was it. Ugas had that reach on him. Every time he pulled out, he was catching him with that like little overhands. But man, other than that, I thought Manny fought a great fight. Just the size difference, and then also to the last, within the last 10 days, the switch. To fighting a right-hander for both of them. That's what I was interested to see. Who's gonna be able to make the adjustments, and I think it was just a little bit better for Ugas because of the height and the reach.
Yeah.
So that's what the difference was.
Yeah, he bullied him. That the size was a big thing. Short Fuse, you ready? Can we hear you now? Can we hear you? We still can't hear you.
Short Fuse, power your publicist. Short Fuse. Short Fuse.
He can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Yeah. Oh man. There we go.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So hey Ghost, man.
In a minute. We'll bring him back on in a minute. We gotta continue to talk to the Ghost while we got him. Boy,
yeah.
Legend on here. The legend himself.
Hey man, actually, me and the Ghost kind of go back a long ways, man. I mean, ever since Joe Heron Ghost?
Yeah.
What was that?
You remember Joe Heron? I think the first time we had you on the show, I was with Joe Heron and what's his name? Gogi. Yeah.
That was a while back, huh?
Yeah. That's what I said. I think at that time, I think you might only had 5 belts. I think that was before you. I think that was before you got the last.
I didn't have that last foot.
No, man. But hey, Malignaggi was still fighting. That tells you how long ago it was. So
yeah, Malignaggi had a great jab, man.
I was doing Paulie Malignaggi. That never happened.
What was that?
I said a fight with you in Paulie. I would have loved to have saw one of those. That happen.
Yeah, I would have loved that fight too. He was always one weight class ahead of me. Always one weight class ahead.
Yeah. But he's not a puncher though.
Yeah, no, but he has a great jab, man. He had a great jab. He'll pepper you up.
Yeah, he was.
What was that?
You ever sparred him before?
No, I never sparred Paulie. Okay. But there was talks about me and Paulie fighting a few years back, but we never got around to it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
That's good. I remember I gave him opportunity at the time. He wasn't a world champ, and I had the title. I was like, man, I couldn't get nobody to get in the ring. I said, man, I get Paulie. Paulie, we can go ahead and make it happen. He was gonna take the fight too.
He couldn't punch, but man, he can box, man.
He
can take some shots.
I think especially toward the end of career, they could have called him Timex.
Yeah, I was interested to see the sparring between him and McGregor. I know there's a lot of talk about it. So
exactly. Hey, how did you feel? I mean, did you watch the Jake Paul Tyrone Woodley fight? And how did you see that fight?
It was a close fight. Man, that to see that guy calling out Canelo, he's a little crazy there.
See it.
It's good PR though.
Great,
Yeah.
great payday.
I thought one judge had it a little crazy where, I think they had Jake Paul shutting him out. So I don't think that was right. I think it was a little closer than that.
Yeah, it was.
So
Yeah,
I think it was a split decision, like barely beating him.
It was split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you had a chance to fight for a world title or fight a YouTuber for more money, what would you want? What would you take?
I would go for a world title.
So you would say,
I would go for the world title.
See,
I mean, if I needed money and I was in that position, oh heck yeah, let's do it, man.
Okay. Oh, so you don't need money. You got money. You hear me?
Al Hammond checks, baby.
Al Hammond checks, baby. We should sign with Al Hammond. We should sign with Al Hammond. Hey, first of all, I like to say, what's that name again?
For me, it's first of all, I want to thank the Lord, then I'll thank Al Hammond.
That's right.
And then you thank the Lord. You thank the Lord for blessing you with somebody in your life like Al Hammond because he did an incredible job.
You ain't lying. Hey, my biggest purse came from an Al Hammond check.
Yeah.
So I like to thank Al Hammond too.
All right, Ghost, man. We'll let you go, man. I know you've been there with your son and go in and take care of your business. Hey, man, it's good seeing you again, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm gonna make him do like 300 push-ups right now. I told him it's those push-ups, man. You gotta get them. Let's do them.
Make sure you tell him I used to do 1,000 push-ups a day when I was 11 years old to the age of 14. I did 1,000 a day every day.
Hey, my dad used to make me do 1,000 a day too. Before, if I wanted to go hang out with my friends, 1,000 a day.
Oh,
let's go. You want to go hang out with your friends? I want 1,000 push-ups, and then you can leave. I'm like, all right, I'll rip them out. But my best friend is the only one that'll stay there waiting for me to finish. Everybody else will leave. That's how you know the real friends are.
There you go.
Yeah. Real friend though, guess what? He would have helped you. He would have did 200 at least for you.
but my old man never let them count. I had to do all mine myself. Your friends couldn't help. No, that wasn't allowed.
Oh.
Hey, when my dad, he used to count. He didn't let me count. He used to count them.
So that meant the ones that you did wrong, he didn't count. It was 1, 2, 2.
If I didn't go all the way down and all the way up, it wasn't counted.
See?
I go all the way down, all the way up.
I hear
and if I did a half one, he'll be like, "Hey, you ain't throwing half punches. Let's go. Come on. You got to use that reach. You got to follow through."
Wow. I'm surprised
so
a middleweight or super middleweight though if you did 1,000 push-ups a day.
Hey, but I didn't like it, but man, I love it now because shoot, got me to where I needed to go.
You just want to fight a week and a half ago. I guess you do.
Exactly.
Now it's my turn to tell my son. Come on, let's go, son.
Yeah, tell I said what's up too, man. Tell one champ to another. K9 said, yeah.
Is it Robert Jr. or?
Yep, Robert Guerrero Jr.
All right.
I named him after my grandfather. People go, "Hey, you named him after?" I was like, "No, my grandfather, because I was named after my grandfather."
Okay. I'm the third, so I'm named after my grandfather too.
Yeah. That's what's
up. All right, Ghost, man. Hey, thank you so much, man.
Thank you guys for having me on, man.
You got any social media or anything that you want to mention before you go?
Yeah, you can find me on Ghost Boxing and all social media outlets.
Okay. All right, Ghost.
All right,
all right.
Ghost.
Get Ghost, man.
I'll see you guys anytime you guys want me on, I'll be happy to be back.
All right, bro.
Appreciate you.
All
right, champ. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I see,
a
lot of times it's just hard, man. When
I got my audio now.
We got you out, man.
Hey.
Got you. Hey, man, look at.
Hey, I hate I missed out on Ghost, man. He's an idol, but we good to go now.
Okay.
We also had Lou. Lou Dibella was on also.
You did have Lou on. Okay.
Yeah,
great.
man. Yeah. So another KO.
Yes, sir. Another. Hey, I got to the 5th round, but I put him to sleep in the 5th round.
Ooh, you put him to sleep?
Yeah. We did this time for sure.
Oh, wow. What undercard was that?
What's that?
What undercard was it?
I was actually the main event on that one. It was we were headlining at the Oak Grove Hotel.
Okay.
Nashville.
Oak Grove. Not in Nashville. It was more Kentucky. They just built some casinos out that way, so it was the first inaugural fight they had out there. I got to headline it.
Oh man, so you was close to the Hoptown or what?
Oh yeah, we were up that way a little bit. Yeah, it was actually right next to Fort Campbell. I know you know that area well.
Yes, I do, man. Hey, where am I at here? There you go. Hey, yeah, but that's unusual because we never had boxing down around it, except when we had, the Army versus the Navy, or but as far as professional boxing, we had some tough man contests though. We did have a few of those, but how are things going down there, man? I think are you guys getting some of the remnants of Hurricane Ida, rain, anything?
We actually are right now. They're canceling some things right now. Rain's been coming in all day. So hopefully nothing too major. I think it's going to clear up here soon, but we'll definitely get some remnants of it.
Yeah. So you and the family and everybody's all right? Things are good?
Oh, yeah, we all right. We just celebrating this win. Going to take a week or so off, then get back in that gym, get back to work.
And what are you now? Is it 12-0?
Yes, sir. 12-0 right now, and 8 knockouts now. So just stacking them up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now you kind of we were just talking about another guy that kind of made his name down there in Nashville, Mr. Caleb Plant. So I remember Caleb from way back when just before his daughter died. So so it's but you Caleb, you're kind of making your name for yourself down there. So I don't see the cowboy had the guitar, man. I know. I do hear the tone though. Is there any cowboy songs back there?
Not just the accent, but yeah, I actually got to go out to Vegas not too long ago and reconnect with Caleb a little bit, do some sparring out there. So that was a really good trip, but no cowboy hat, nothing too crazy. I just happen to have the accent.
Oh man, so you're not going to retire as a country singer? Huh?
No, absolutely not. I got a couple plans for retirement, but I'm gonna keep those under wraps. I can't give anything away.
I'm sure that's a long way away. You're just in your early 20s now, right? 20.
Yes, sir. 21 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say you just turned. So 12-0. You got a long way ahead now. I forget, but you can remind me and the audience, how many amateur fights did you have?
Yeah, I had about 60, 70 right in there. So I got the amateur experience. I've been in the national tournaments. I fought the top guys at that level. And obviously with my pro career, I'm getting to a point where I'm fighting better and better competition every time. So I'm going to start seeing some of those guys.
Yeah, you got a great promoter too, man. Lou Dibella, one of the best. My favorite promoter. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's been great working with Lou so far. He co-promoted with TriStar Boxing on this past card. But Lou's going to start putting me on some big stuff. I'm really excited about it.
Oh, yeah. You kind of remind me of Ryan Garcia. You got like a little a style about you that, that people, I don't know if they've caught on to it yet, but you just got that glow. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's a big compliment for sure.
Yeah. And then you look real professional. Like, look at your setup. Your setup is nice. You look like you know what you're doing.
Shout out to my guy Shop Media here. So they keep me right. They got the studio here. They do all the microphones, all the everything. So
you got your own YouTube channel?
Not necessarily a YouTube channel just yet. I know Shop Media does have one. Make sure to check that out. But most of my content is all through all my social media pages right now.
Okay, because yeah, you looking sharp, boy. Every time you
Hey,
come on this way,
thank
you be
you.
looking
I
sharp.
appreciate that.
Right. Somebody getting you together then. Well, why they can't get the microphone right though? Microphone.
Hey, we've had a couple of troubles with it, but it's working right now, so we good.
Yeah,
You got anybody you want to shout out? Because I know last time you came on here, boy, you had like 30 people in the live.
Oh
Anybody you want
man.
to shout out?
And if I shout out everybody I wanted to shout out, I have a list like this, man. Most of all, just my promoter, Lou Dibella. I don't know if Peter Fernandez is watching out there in Tampa, Florida right now, but he helps co-manage me. So big shout out to him. Shout out to my family, of course, everything they do for me. And just everybody in Cheatham County that made it out to my fight this Saturday night. But like I said, I have a list this big, all my amazing sponsors and everything else, man. Just thanks to everybody that's part of Team Short Fuse.
Yeah. You want to say something, Jay?
No, I was saying at 12 and 0, are you comfortable at this particular weight? Do you see yourself moving up sooner than later? You look lean. You don't look like you're having trouble making weight. So is this where you're still comfortable at? After a fight, some guys blow up, 10, 20 pounds. You still look about the same as you did the night that you stepped in the ring.
Oh, yes, sir. I cut all the way down to 135. Sometimes I'll walk around, as big as 156, 157, and I'll cut that weight to get down there. And then obviously rehydrate everything else. But 135 is where I'm going to stay at. I've been fighting at 135 and 140 both for a while now. But I feel strong at 135. I feel like the bigger guy in the ring with pretty much everybody I get in there with. So I think that's a weight that I can continue to fight at and win titles at.
Wow. Now, we've seen Gervonta Davis, he vacated the 130 title.
Yeah, 130.
And he'll probably, unless he, judging by his weight, he'll probably eventually get out of that 135. What would be your ideal matchup at 135?
Oh man, there's so many guys right now at 135. I think after another year or two, you can stick me in there with any of them. You mentioned Ryan Garcia. I think both of our personalities back and forth. That would just be an easy fight to sell for everybody. All the top guys. I mean, Devin Haney. There's Lomachenko. You got Cambosis, who might be getting that Lopez fight. I hopefully fly out there for that one here soon because my promoter is going to be on it. But there's just many names.
You see, ain't nobody calling Shakur Stevenson out. What about him?
Oh,
well, he said no. He said he's got
a big fight coming up. He's got a big fight coming up himself.
Yeah.
So is he going to move up to 135? I know he's a 130 guy, isn't he?
That I don't know.
Yeah, he's 130 right now.
Yeah. But 135, I feel like it's almost similar.
Oh yeah, he's right there in between there. So that's definitely another guy. There's so many high level names. Obviously, I've still got a little bit of work to do. I've got a lot of things to work on. But here in about a year or two, you can place me in there with just about any of them.
Can you tell me why isn't the best fighting the best? I mean, don't seem like none of those guys gonna fight each other.
I know, and I hate that. And it seems like every time they do try to make one of those fights, it happens. Like the Lopez fight, it just gets pushed and pushed until the fans are like, "Oh my God," they get tired of it almost.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the higher ups, it's the promoters that have a hard time getting the contract negotiations right. But I think once you get to the top like that, the fans needs to make the fights right. The fans are paying to see the best fight the best. And I think fighters and promoters need to listen to that and make those fights. Everybody's so scared to lose their but at some point the best do have to take on that competition and put that at risk. And at that point, it's a legacy thing, right? The top guys, they're making money.
Yes. And right now, today, what would be the biggest fight if it happened right now? I'm talking about currently fighters. Which fight would you think would be the biggest fight? Do you think it would be Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, or Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, or Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder?
The biggest fight, period, just as far as numbers go, I think you have to go Tyson Fury, Joshua, just because obviously it's such a captivating thing with the European countries and everything.
Yeah.
But obvious everybody in America here, they're such big stars. We're all going to tune in too.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you just said with Earl Spence, hopefully he can come back from his injury and get a big fight like Crawford. We've been waiting on that one forever. I don't know if Crawford's going to get that fight with Porter. There's so many things that are going back and forth, but man, there's so many big fights that could be made, and I hope they do.
Yeah. Who you want to fight? I'm talking about to get to the next level, or what fight do you want to see right now? If it's your fight, you fighting such and such, or if it's somebody else fighting such and such, what fight do you want to see next?
Yeah, I'm not gonna get on here calling anybody out just yet. Like I said, I got some things to work on, slowly moving my career in the right direction.
Yeah.
But somebody like Rolly, he's always trying to fight guys like Devin Haney or Garcia. Like, I'd love to see something like that, or Devin Haney to fight Ryan Garcia. I know they had that beef forever ago. I specifically want to see guys in my weight class, just because like if you maybe knock one of them off, open up a place for me to slide in, right?
If Rolly wanted to fight you, would you take that fight right now?
Oh, I think you'd have to take that fight right now.
Okay.
You know, just because that puts you in such a position. Rolly's got so many people watching him right now. How do you turn down that fight? You beat a guy like that, and you're immediately in a title contention spot.
Exactly.
What did you think about Valdez testing positive just before his 130-pound title defense?
You always hate to see something like that, especially when you don't know everything about it just yet, and everybody's going to take it and run with it. I saw somebody just said something about it being that it wasn't a diuretic. It was actually like a central nervous system stimulant or something. But anything that goes against what's allowed, I mean, this is a sport where you get in there and you do damage to somebody. Anything that makes you more than the average person, I think, is just awful. You know, I'm all natural. I get in the gym, and that's how I get better. I work my butt off. And to see other athletes trying to take shortcuts, and, you know, especially a guy like that who is at the top and has got a title, you just hate to see things like that in the sport of boxing.
That's true. No, that's true. JK, where you go? Where you go?
I'm here. I'm too old to move. This is about the extent of my movement right here. Yeah.
Fuse, how much you weigh right now? I need some work, man. I need a little sparring.
Right now, I'm probably like 150, 152. You know, I weighed in 135.8 for my fight, so I done put some of that weight back on. I've been chilling. I've been eating a little bit.
How long ago was the fight?
I fought Saturday night. I'm still rocking a little bit of a shine.
Okay.
Yeah. That's from a headbutt though. That was not a punch. So.
Yeah. What was the guy you fought? What was his record? Was it just an opponent? Or was
he was 27. He had 27 wins, 16 losses. He was coming. He didn't fight for a little while. Came back. And he was 1-1. He just beat an opponent that was 11-1. So it was definitely a good fight for me. Great learning experience.
There you go.
The first 2 rounds we got in there, we were going at it, and obviously my body punches and everything else, I started to break him down, and that's what opened up the shot that ended it all in the 5th round.
That's good.
Now, did you see the shot coming, or had you planned it like, you know, around before? You know, like, look, you know. I saw this when I did this, you know. Like, did you see that knockout coming? Did you know?
Oh, yeah, I definitely saw that one coming just because where I was working to the body, I was just waiting for that head to open up, And cause I kept throwing my left to body. And I eventually was posting with my jab, set up a big right hand that rocked him a little bit, stepped on an angle to the outside. He thought I was going to the body with it. I just picked it right back up to the head. And y'all probably hadn't seen the video yet, but make sure to check out my Facebook page because the whole place blew up.
It was.
Man. Y'all gotta check that one out.
That's good. You said you had like 70 amateur fights, so you got the experience. So that's helping you to be able to set up shots like the shot you said you just set up. You set it up. And what helped you set it up, it was your amateur experience. People don't understand how important it is to have an amateur experience. I mean, I won in a million. I only had 10 amateur fights and still was able to become a 2-time world champ. But you have a lot of amateur experience. who are some of the guys that you fought in the amateurs that's well known today?
Oh yeah, definitely. I fought a lot of guys that are signed by Top Rank, signed by PBC, fighting on some of these big cards, like Omar Juarez. He's actually somebody we're close with now. He's another great boxer, young boxer, working his way up. I fought guys like Leon Lawson, who's definitely bigger now. Yeah. He's from where you are, actually, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He actually just lost. I was surprised.
Oh no, did he really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he lost to someone from, I think, from JK's spot from Ohio. Yeah.
Oh man, there's some good boxers out that way too, though. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But guys like Keyshawn Davis, fighting them in like silver gloves and stuff, and
Did you beat Leon?
What's that? No, I didn't beat Leon. Man, he had that reach. Man, we were like 13, 14 years old. His arms were like that much longer than mine at the time. I was trying to work my way in. Anytime I get inside, he just hold me. So.
Exactly. When you had your first pro fight, how does it feel when you had your first pro fight?
Oh man, the very first one, just the energy in the building. We've always sold tickets. We've always had a crowd. And I actually knocked the guy out, I think, within a minute of the fight. Yeah. He came forward and walked into an overhand right. And I think that was just my first time experiencing throwing in those small gloves, actually at somebody. So I recognizing I had the power and just seeing it in that first fight, rocking somebody and putting them out that soon, just set everything up for the rest of my career. It was a really cool experience.
How do you feel about the in the Olympics, the amateurs are fighting pros, or pros can go and fight amateurs in the Olympics? Do you feel like that's fair? I mean, your promoter said he didn't feel like it was fair.
Yeah,
it was fair.
It's kind of a hard line to walk, because at what point do you have too much pro experience?
Yes.
To go into, like, first couple fights, I understand it, but still having a couple pro fights, I mean, from the time I had my first pro fight to the time I had my fourth and fifth one, I was a completely different fighter. Mm-hmm. So at some point, I think there does need to be a cutoff, because, you fight that pro style and you've taken those punches and now you're fighting amateurs, right? It just, that doesn't seem right to me. But I think it's a cool dynamic for guys to have 1, 2, 3 pro fights to get in there and compete with the highest level of amateurs that are about to be pro, about to be in the same situation that they are.
Yeah, I feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, if they was doing it, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, then it's cool. But to all of a sudden just come up with these different what's that weight class?
K9, you talking about, what is it, the Bridger class?
You come with the Bridger weight. Now amateurs can fight pros. Yeah, it's a Bridger weight. What the heck is Bridger weight? The Bridger weight. They never heard it was a cruiserweight, heavyweight.
I think is it between cruiser and light heavy? Somewhere it's somewhere there, but it's called the Bridger class. It just started. But K9, I know I'm a little older than you, but do you remember when the Cubans had a boxing team and the Russians had a boxing team?
Oh yeah.
And then, I mean, those guys, were Telefilio Stevenson, the heavyweight, at one time, they were talking about him and, Muhammad Ali, but of course, he never got a chance to turn pro. But, you had, guys like, how many fights did Costa Zoo have? 1,000? I'm
just saying, like, look, I feel like, listen, in my days, when I turned pro and I became a world champ, listen, if I'd got in there with any of the amateurs, I mean, no matter how good they were, they could be going to Olympics and all that. At 154, man, I'll tell you. I mean, I feel like I hurt them real bad, because I know how it feels, you know what I mean, to get hit with them little gloves on. You know what I mean? And I'm going to turn them shots over, But don't get me wrong, you got some amateurs, though, that's actually better than pros. And in a 3-round fight, hey, you never know. A lot of amateurs will beat a pro fighter. But if it went past 3 rounds,
and especially with the scoring, especially with the scoring, it might be, But getting back to you, short fuse. Look, man, you're on a pretty fast track now. You're signed with Lou. You've practically taken over the state of Tennessee. So,
Yes, sir.
so now K9 always talks about how some of these fighters have a country behind them and so forth and so on. But you've kind of done this like from the ground up, and you've built your audience. And not only, I mean, right now it's not a long distance, but your fan base also seems to travel well with you.
Oh yeah, they travel very well.
Yeah. So I mean, so when are we gonna start seeing you out this way? I mean,
Oh, man.
Vegas,
I hope soon. I hope soon.
Texas, California. When it warms up a little bit, you can go up in Detroit. They still got a good
Oh yeah,
venue
we definitely
up
gotta let it warm up a little bit. Let's put it out there.
Warm now. Hey, it's warm now, real talk.
Oh really? All right, I'll come out there now. Shit.
Exactly.
Hey, at least you get out of the rain.
Oh no, Joe, you for real on that? But, yeah, you're right. We've definitely built it from the ground up. Obviously, like you said, the whole state of Tennessee is behind me, and we want to build outside of that. We want to build a bigger fan base. We want a fan base all around the country, right? And we do want to start fighting some of those away fights. Our next one is definitely going to be away. We've heard New York. We've heard Florida. I don't know if we can get out west just yet. Obviously, I would love to do that. But the more people that see me on some of these bigger cards in different places, the more that fan base will start to grow. And me and Lou have talked about that. And Lou has talked with my team about that. So that's definitely something we're starting to look into.
Hey, let me ask you this. Did you fight a guy with yellow shorts on?
Yeah, I did fight a guy with yellow shorts on.
Okay.
Yeah. So, hey, maybe you did see it. Maybe you did.
Did I see it?
Yeah.
My man's in there. We got man. Yes,
yeah. So you see, it was a spectacular night for him, right, Kate?
Man. Yeah. You the man.
Hey, thank you. Now,
you are the man.
That's a good experience guy coming in there, having beaten 27 people. That was my 12th fight there. There was a time or two in the first round where obviously there's a little bit of a learning curve. He was a fast guy, got in there and got hit with a couple of right hands, But those are obviously things I'm working on. My defense improves every single fight. So, but lasting, making those adjustments, the needed adjustments, and getting that kind of finish, and at the same time getting experience to make me better in my next fight, So those are perfect fights for a prospect like me, and continue to move me up and weigh and learn that I need to,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so far, K9, I done found two gyms in Nashville. So hey, I think I'm gonna have to keep at least keep a hook in the water anyway. I think this is you here, Ryan, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know we had that feature. That's pretty cool.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, working down to the body there.
That hurt.
We get into it.
Oh. Boy, oh boy.
Oh man, then the crowd.
That was it?
Yeah.
The crowd went crazy. Oh man, that was a good look. That was a good look, champ.
Hey, thank you.
We gonna face some love, boy. On the dog pound, we got you. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, we're not gonna keep you up there too. Well, I know you and K9 in the same time zone, so
Nah, it ain't too bad.
For me, it's dinner time, so I'm good.
Night.
Oh, you gotta pull back up again. Oh yeah.
Ooh, you don't like that.
Hey, working that body. Here we go. Post up right here. There he goes.
Hey, he said good night, and we said good night. Good stuff, my dog. Always a pleasure having you on here, man. Let the people know they can find you at if they try and catch up with you, champ.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Always a pleasure to be on here and talk to y'all. But you can catch me on my Facebook page at Tyler Shortfuse Tomlin. Make sure to go and give that athlete page a like. You can catch me on Instagram and Twitter both at _Ty Tomlin. And man, just thank y'all for having me on. Like I said, it's always a pleasure. And hopefully I have some news soon on that next fight. I know we're going to take a week or two before we get back in the gym, get back to work. And hopefully me and Luke can have a conversation and maybe get towards y'all a little bit, huh?
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah, maybe one day we can get that timing just right, and you and Luke can come on together, and
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You must bruise easy because you don't like he did nothing to you.
Nah. Like I said, I came in. It was the very first round too. I came in with a little bit of an overhand, and he was coming forward, and just that head snuck up under there and caught me right on that eye. And then he noticed the swelling in the second and third round and was trying to get to jabbing at it. So it blackened up a little bit. But other than that, not too much.
You a fighter, champ. You a fighter.
Oh, yeah. That's everybody's like, oh, man, your eye looks horrible. I'm like, man, this is what I do. Like,
hey, man, Hey, look here, though. Hey, look. You can sell deodorant. You can be like Conor McGregor and sell beverages. And we might even have short fuse Vitamix. Who knows, man? Look,
whatever the case is, we're gonna get on top of it here soon.
All right. Well, if you start selling Vitamix, I want to cut. But anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got you. Hey, free samples. You get a cut, whatever. I got you.
All right, bro. You have a great night, man.
Have a good one.
Thank y'all so much for having me on. Y'all go.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Thank you so much, man. Hey,
absolutely.
But, hey, we got everybody in tonight. Might not have been in the particular order that we wanted, but we got everybody in tonight, man. And hey, I know we missed you last week, man, but hey, it's time for the dog. What's going on in the pound, man? It's time for K9's Corner. What's happening?
Man, the K9's Corner, bro. I just want to say, I appreciate everybody for tapping in and tuning in, man. And it's all about y'all, and not just us. It's all about y'all. Stay strong, man. It's crazy out here, but we gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Do the best you can to stay healthy, stay out the way. I just want to pray for peace, man. Pray for peace and happiness, man. And at K9's Corner, I just want people to get along, be happy, live strong, to continue to support the people that support you. And that's what I got at K9's Corner, man. It's a lot of things we can talk about. We can talk about YouTubers, making all this money. We could talk about the Caleb fight coming up. I want to talk about peace. Can we all get along? I got a young man and two friends of mine, guys that I know, named Jason and another guy named Sean. That these guys, they were into it. And they grew up together. They actually family because Jason has the baby by Sean's niece or his cousin. Anyway, these guys got into it, and instead of shooting each other, you know what they said? They called me and said, K9, can we put these gloves on? I said, of course. He said, man, we want to set something up. We want to set this like we got some class. And they did it. They did it this Sunday. So I wasn't at the Jake Paul fight because I had to let them guys settle it in a ring. And like back in the day, we settled it like this and not like this. So I was really proud of those guys, man. And other people should follow suit and fight to live another day versus killing each other, So shout out to Jason, shout out to Sean, and shout out to everybody that tapped in tonight. And be great on purpose. And you can find me at K9 Boxing on all social media. And you want that good merch like the one that JK got on and like the one that I got on, all you got to do is go to K9 Boxing Fitness. That's right. Yeah. And it's right there on the screen. Thanks, SB. And shout out to SB too, because this week is her birthday, the whole week. When we have birthdays, we celebrate the whole week. So shout out to SB, and shout out to JK. Shout out to myself. Big shout out to God and Jesus, and one love, man. Anything you got to say, JK, before you leave? And
I got to first of all congratulate SB. For putting up with you for all these years. As far as her birthday, I think should have an extra 3 days because she got 3 men in the house.
Yeah.
And I know at least one of them I know is as stubborn as a rock because I am. So so just make sure that you give her those extra couple of days, and if you need any instructions on how to be a good husband, there's a book that you always refer to. So just just in case you lose track, look for my name on the front. It's just it's kind of mixed up, King James III. It's on top. It's on every Bible you read. So hey, So hey, K9.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be checking on you tonight. Make sure you read and
Oh yeah.
SB. Happy birthday, SB.
Happy birthday.
Great job every week.
SB said thanks too. Now, let me ask you, what is they actually saying right here? Because
I got a question for K9. I asked a few fighters I know but couldn't get any from. Okay. If you could have any attribute at level 100, what would it be?
Man, you know what? I don't actually play the boxing video games, especially against someone, that's playing against me, because I'm a real fighter, and I'll feel bad for somebody to beat me and I'm a real fighter on a video game. So I don't never play against nobody in a boxing game. But in real life, I'd rather have speed, because speed is power. A lot of guys be having all these muscles and they go out there. Look at the guy Roy Jones fought and knocked out. He's so strong, muscle bound, but you want that speed because, everybody lift them weights. But if you take people that lift weights and put them in a cardio gym, like I be training people at Title Boxing. So you take these little girls, these little slim girls at the gym, and some of the little slim guys that's at the gym that's doing cardio boxing classes in the bag. And you take these weightlifters and you put them in the same gym and let them all do a cardio class. Them guys that lift weights gonna fall out. And big as they is, you're gonna be looking at, you see them little bitty skinny little people in there punching them bag, moving. Man, so cardio over lifting and speed over power. Because at the end of the day, you gotta remember, speed is power. A punch you don't see will put you on daisy land. You put you on night, and you'll be up out of there. So speed. Go for the speed. Speed is better than power all day. Muhammad Ali, he wasn't that powerful. But what did he do to George Foreman? George Foreman had that power, but Muhammad Ali had that speed. And it was a shot that what was the other fighter? Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston couldn't see it. He is powerful too. But Muhammad Ali hit him with that phantom punch. Like to this day, people say that he didn't hit him for real. Sonny Liston threw the fight, but the man with the speed won. You hear me? And the greatest of all time, whether it be Floyd Mayweather, whether it be Muhammad Ali, whether it be Sugar Ray Robinson, what do they all have in common? Speed. Not power. Speed. So if that answers your question, I really have speed, man. Speed. Fast and furious. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
check out that video.
All right, man. Well, look, if they want to catch me, just go on Facebook.
There you go.
Look under JEK3. You can also find me on YouTube. I get into a lot of diverse sort of things, politics, sports, and whatnot. But two things that we talk about on Thursday for you Detroit fans, we talk about the Tigers and we talk about the Lions.
Wow.
So I got a lion. I got a lion.
I got to check boss.
Yeah, I got a guy that is a regular that's a Lions fan. I mean, you know, he has two pictures in back of him on every show.
Wow.
On this side,
Yeah.
it's the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
On this side,
Yeah.
it's Muhammad Ali.
Okay. I like that.
So
Man,
yeah.
I like gave up on the Lions, and I'm from Detroit. I done got so tired of this. Seeing them lose. Ever win, man, I might pass out because I just knew we were gonna finally win more than 2 playoff games. They never did in my lifetime, but who knows? And with God, all things are possible. Yeah,
had they been to the playoffs 2 times in your lifetime?
I saw them go to playoffs 1 time. And the year they went to the playoffs, they beat Dallas Cowboys. You know that the next year, the Dallas Cowboys won a Super Bowl? Lions didn't go to the playoffs.
Hey, man.
The Dallas Cowboys, the year before they won the Super Bowl, and that was supposed to be you. But what happened? Same old Lions, you know? But it is what it is. And you know, do you remember Alex played with the Detroit Lions? I had him on your show before, remember?
Yeah. My friend's husband, actually, my friend's daughter, the gentleman that she's married to, actually met James Ferrier, one of the great Steeler linebacker back in the day. He met him yesterday, and it goes to show. I mean, once again, the sports world all connected. I mean, you know, he's teaching kids soccer in the park, and James' daughters, you know, come up to him and play. You know, so you know, and it also shows, you know, the resilience of the kids. You know, the kids still want to get out there to play and so forth. So, hey, man, have a great night. I'll talk to you next week.
JK, you looking fly?
Hey, man, you know, hey, I got outfits. Look, I can wear right now. I can wear a different outfit every week of the month, so I'm good. All right, man. All right, dog. I'll holler at you next week. Have a good one, man.